Now, let's discuss this in details. If you're still wondering why I have not used my Indian accent yet, yes, that is because I'm still juicing my Akwa Ibom accent. Hello, welcome to Inditel's podcast with AB Akwan. And whoo la la, it's a wonderful week. It's a new week here. And before we get started for today, I'd like to give a shout out to everyone that has made this podcast, a big success for me. So far, we've crossed our 100 listeners mark. 100 listeners in, I think, about 3 days since we launched the podcast. And that's a big one for me. I told myself I'm not going to focus on the numbers, just focus on the value, no numbers. But literally, if I do that, I'll be very, very ungrateful. I'm happy that you're listening. I am grateful and I sincerely appreciate you. So thank you for making this a success for me, and I appreciate. Oh la la. Okay, so in the last episode, I talked about how my proposed worst year in school became one of my most remarkable and memorable year on campus. But today, something happened after that. I had to struggle with depression as a student entrepreneur. That was 1 year out of school. All the tour, it was a big win. We did this, we did that. Everything was awesome. But then after that, I was able to resume school again. So coming back to school, it was not easy. It was like very different. And already I'm out of school for a year. I've had a completely different mindset. Right now I'm thinking of business, money, impact, business, money, influence, business, money, business. And now I'm back to, the school, the school thing. It was very difficult for me. I think the first month I missed a lot of classes. And I was like, I'm trying to configure my mind to accept the fact that I am still a. And that was the year that school, last school has come. Hey, school. That's the year that song was trending like mad. So my mind, God. That was when the trend was peak, like the whole school has come thing, school has come. And although I did not accept the fact that school was calm, but deep in my heart I knew that, school was calm, and fighting it was crazy for me. I was depressed. Like, I just did not find, like, why am I here? I kept asking myself, why am I here? Why am I here? Drop out. All I was hearing in the video was drop out. Why am I here? Why am I here? And it was crazy. Very, very crazy. Sometimes you're in class, you're attending lectures, and all your mind, like, before you're already thinking about your business, you're thinking about what you have to do, but you are there in class, looking at the lecturer, but your attention is somewhere else entirely. And after the class, you're like, I just spent 2 hours here thinking about my business, or doing something else in my mind. I lost, like, why? I just wasted time. And one thing I do not like to waste is time. I don't know if there are other people that have this kind of experience, other entrepreneurs too. That if you have this kind of experience, because it's a crazy thing where you're like in class, they're teaching, but your mind is not there, and then you actually feel bad, like you feel guilty. I wish you were not even in class, because by that time you'd have done something useful with your life, but then you've been stuck here for the past 2 hours and your mind is not here. It's very frustrating. Then coming back and you're like, should I just make this move? But there are other factors that, somebody's paying your school fees, or somebody's paying your school fees, so you can't just make that decision, except you want to be disowned as a child. So it was a big struggle for me. It was a big struggle. Then I didn't even learn anything about my mindset, how to configure your mind, and it was a big struggle for me. But then later that year, I had to review my life again. I just asked myself, why am I here? Why am I here? That's a big question. I was avoiding the question before. I didn't want to answer it because I knew it might prick me or make me, see reasons. I didn't want to be school. So when I sat back and actually asked myself, why am I here? And I realized that, okay, as much as I do not want to be in school, I want to go out there and, win big, do the things I want to do. I realized that right now I just have to complete what I started. At least if I'm not doing it for myself, I should do it for my mom, who always wanted to see me become a civil engineer. So if I'm doing it for mom, that's not enough reason, but I think that's a good reason to start. So I went back gently and I started doing my thing again, just attending lectures, trying to follow up. It was a lot of struggle. It's not as easy as I said it, but it's a lot of struggle. I just had to, get started again. And after that, that was 2019. That's when I met some cool people. I was able to build a team on campus. And I was like, okay, yeah, so I met Sonny. Yeah, Sonny Okon, my favorite person. He's been a very hardworking gentleman. Like, I admire his courage and his resilience. So that's when I met him in school. I met Staiba, I met Kemi, I met NK, and so many other persons, that year. And wow, okay, and I realized that if I was not in school, how would I have met any of these great people? No, that's impossible. Even if I came in like an outsider to school, they'll have to charge me way big. Everything will be like very expensive. But then that access, that community, that network is something that, okay, it's still something to gain out of this. So instead of just like going out to the street and trying to figure out, just be here, try and find the balance. So it was not like, okay, how do you now find the balance between the academics and everything? But the depression part was real. Like months I was not feeling myself. I was just there like asking myself, why am I here? And that's the bad part. I wish I just answered that question the first time. So as a student entrepreneur, if you're struggling with the do I drop out of school idea, just ask yourself, why are you here? So when you answer that question, if your why is not there, then you can take the big decision, because if that why is not strong enough, very you'll be frustrated and the academics will be down. But if you can figure out that why are you there? Why are you there? Like my own, there were a lot of why. Like there was free light in school, that was like a big leverage for me. There was Wi-Fi at some point, that was a big leverage for me. The community was there, although I'm not saying anything about academics, which I would cover that intensely in the next episode. I'll talk about how I was able to create that turnaround for my academics and how a friend helped me. It wasn't my like complete. I told you, this is not like I made it podcast. This is a friend. I'm more of a God made, a family made, and a friend made entrepreneur. So in the next episode, I'll share with you how my friend helped me to turn around my academics, to find the balance between academics and business. Okay, so thank you for listening to this podcast, and I will see you in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe and share this with, that's my Indian accent, right? Do not forget to subscribe and share this with your friends so that you can bye. Thank you for listening to Indito's podcast. This podcast is brought to you by color.com.